Ladies and gentlemen, on Friday, something happened in Nairobi that has caused serious diplomatic spat between Kenya and the Democratic Republic of Congo, and is definitely going to shape the regional politics moving forward. Corneille Nangaa, the opposition leader from DRC, and the M23 rebel leader Bertrand Bisimwa announced the formation of the Congo River Alliance. According to the group, Congo River Alliance is calling for unity of all political, social, and military forces in the country.
Congo River Alliance. Our call is specifically aimed at the following group: political parties, civil society organizations and platforms, resistance force and community self-defense forces, armed forces of the Democratic Republic of Congo, community and diaspora leaders. It is insecurity. Tshisekedi has failed to manage this one. So he doesn't deserve to be the president. He doesn't even know that he is the president.
And immediately they released that statement, the government of the Democratic Republic of Congo recalled immediately its ambassador to Kenya and Tanzania. And I know most of you guys are wondering why they recalled their ambassador to Tanzania. Tanzania is the headquarters of East Africa Community. DRC is a member of East Africa Community, and therefore they don't expect Kenya to allow such kind of a formation to be announced in its territory. And that move has caused serious political storm in Kenya, in DRC, and of course in the region. And of course the government of Kenya has already responded through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. William Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, also responded yesterday during his interview with the media houses. Uhuru Kenyatta has also issued a statement. Remember, Uhuru Kenyatta is actually the facilitator of the East African-led Nairobi peace mission or peace process on DRC. Has also responded. And Kenyans are also speculating about the whole thing. And one of the top bloggers, Robert Alai, who is also a member of the Nairobi County Assembly, has also linked Kagame, Museveni, and Ruto to move to topple the DRC president, Felix Tshisekedi. So in this video, I want us to do analysis about the whole development. But before we do that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. What we do on this channel is that we analyze politics in a way you can't find any other place. So the best thing you can do is to subscribe now. I know most of you guys are always watching these videos, but you don't subscribe. And with the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. But before I dive in, allow me to also thank the following people. You are seeing their names on the screen there for the coffee which they sent to me earlier today. I'm so grateful because it goes a long way in supporting the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, let us begin by looking at the statement which was released by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Remember, the government spokesman, Isaac Mwaura, had initially issued a statement that he was going to address the media on this particular matter. And Kenyans were like, why would the government spokesman address the media? So later on, they cancelled that announcement, and the minister, who is Musalia Mudavadi, issued the statement. Let me read for you that statement so that you can understand something. Statement on Kenya-DRC relations. Nairobi, it was released on 17th, which was yesterday. It says, the Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs of the Republic of Kenya refers to press reports that some nationals of the Democratic Republic of Congo claiming association with rebel groups within DRC addressed a press conference in Nairobi and made statements that are prima facie inimical to the constitutional order of the Democratic Republic of Congo. This is now what they are saying. Now listen to this. It proceeds. The ministry wishes to note that Kenya is an open and democratic state where freedom of the press is vouchsafed. As such, nationals and non-nationals may engage the Kenyan media without reference to government. And if you understand the way certain issues are handled, who can buy this? that a rebel group can come and address the media without government reference. Are they even telling us anything? Now it proceeds. Kenya strongly dissociates itself from any utterances or activities likely to injure the peace and security of the friendly nation of the DRC, and has commenced investigations to determine the identities of the makers of the statement and the extent to which their utterance fall outside constitutionally protected speech. So Kenyan government want you to believe that they didn't know about the existence of this gentleman. It concludes, Kenya further affirms its non-involvement in the internal affairs of DRC and commits to continue supporting the peace, security, and democratic consolidation of the country. His Excellency Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Affairs. And indeed, if you go through these comments, some will shock you. There's a gentleman who is saying in his comment that this press conference was not haphazardly organized. It was well planned and involved even members of the Defense Force of Kenya. The President of Kenya and Rwanda are co-conspirators. We are not ignorant. You've allowed our country to be gangster paradise. Shame. And someone here who is I think is a Congolese has also made a comment here that Kenyan authorities have gotten themselves into an embarrassment they should have avoided a long time ago. The international and national community witnessed this act, which put the Democratic Republic of Congo and its government in a position of strength, shows the world that those who claim to be seeking peace in their country are just more plotters, and demonstrate the validity of President Tshisekedi decisions to call for the withdrawal of East Africa Community troops from his territory. Now, if you go through these comments, you'll be shocked at what people are saying. And yesterday, when President Ruto was giving his address to media houses, this is what he had to say about the conflict in Congo.
Jana majuzi kulikuwa na mkutano hapa Nairobi ya wananchi wa DRC, wakatoa statement. Watu wa DRC wakalalamika kwamba hiyo statement Kenya haingekubali hiyo statement itolewe pale. Msimamo wetu kama Kenya ni kwamba sisi ni nchi demokrasia. Na nyinyi mnajua, nyinyi ni watu wa vyombo vya habari. Hakuna mtu anauliza serikali kwenda kutoa taarifa yeyote. So they issued a statement from here. DRC wanted to know whether those people, we can arrest them. Then we told them, you know, Kenya is a democracy. We cannot arrest anybody who has issued a statement. We don't arrest people who have made us, we arrest criminals. If anybody has committed any criminality, we will go out of our way to deal with them. But issuing statements, how many people issue statements in Kenya against me? Every day, people are issuing statements left, right, and center. That is what the democracy is all about. And in any case, Kenya here has the biggest bureau. You guys know the biggest bureau of journalists from BBC. I don't know, CNN. I don't know where. Everybody is here. So, and that is what people are looking for. So, Kenya is a media hub.
By recalling the ambassador from Nairobi, what does that mean? Do you have a problem now?
If they decide that they want to recall our ambassador because a statement was issued in Nairobi, that is their right. But, you know, I cannot arrest anybody merely because they issued a statement. That is undemocratic. That is not how Kenya is. That is not the Kenya you all know. So, you know, we are all different. Countries are democracies in different ways.
Okay.
No, that's William Samoei Arap Ruto. But before we get into Uhuru Kenyatta's statement, let me take you through what Robert Alai stated, because what Alai stated is actually very heavy. This is what Alai posted. Immediately, these guys made the announcement. This is what Alai stated, that Tshisekedi's presidency was crafted, designed, and delivered from the Serena Hotel in Nairobi. Tshisekedi, who was then fundraising for the opposition candidate, got in touch with a Kenyan who was their family friend and is now a governor to link him up with Uhuru Kenyatta. I don't want to hide. The governor in question here is none other than Professor Anyang' Nyong'o. Uhuru asked him why he was fundraising for others and not being the candidate himself. That's how things changed. That's why Tshisekedi fears Kenya's hand. It might just deliver a serious challenge. Remember, Uhuru being the only president who attended his inauguration. So the truth of the matter is that Kenya played a role in Tshisekedi's election. Those who understand the politics of DRC, they strongly believe that he was defeated. That is the truth, that he was actually defeated. But he's now the president. And the question is, we are talking of Uhuru Kenyatta, who is accused of putting him in the presidency and who opposed Ruto. And now Robert Alai is saying in another statement, I want you to link it. Now this is what Alai said, that immediately after Ruto was announced as the president, Kagame flew to Nairobi and went straight to Karen to meet Ruto. That's how Kenya got messed up in the DRC. Kagame convinced Ruto to make sure that KDF never stopped M23 massacre in Congo and also limited the role of Uhuru as a mediator. Kagame messed up Kenyan's interest in DRC and even spoiled the long-standing role of Kenya as nine-aligned mediator. Now see the mess Sigoi Korir and Mudavadi think they can solve by imposing a new DRC president. Tshisekedi is not Kabila. What Alai is saying here is actually very heavy and is deep. Let me take you to an article which was authored by Charles Onyango Obo on the East African. This is what Onyango Obo posted in that article, which is titled Kagame, DRC has crossed red line. War won't be in Rwanda. So he actually warned that DRC has crossed the red line. This is what Obo is saying, that President Paul Kagame has said that a red line was crossed in the DRC, in the Congo crisis, when Kinshasa enabled anti-Rwanda forces based in the DRC Republic of Congo to shell the country and kill innocent citizens. So it means whatever lie is saying could also be true. In an interview with the East African in Rwanda capital, Kagame on Wednesday in Kigali, in an interview with the East African in Rwanda capital Kigali on Wednesday, President Kagame said DRC government had armed the democratic forces of the liberation of Rwanda, a rebel group active in the eastern DRC with modern weapons. The FDLD evolved directly from the militia that killed nearly 1 million people in the 1994 genocide in Tutsi. So you can now see the link. So this thing is going to shape the regional politics because according to Kagame, Tshisekedi is funding the rebels to remove him from power. According to the DRC, Kagame is also funding the M23 rebels to remove him from office. I know that's the same group that announced the formation of another rebel group in Nairobi. Remember, Colonel Nanga and the M23 leader are actually sanctioned by the US government. So I'll be waiting to see how William Ruto is going to navigate the interest of the US government in Congo and his own interest in Congo. Let me take you through Uhuru Kenyatta's statement. But before we do that, let us ask a few questions. The first question that I really want us to ask, and maybe you could help us answer it, was the government of Kenya aware that this group was addressing the media? Were they aware? Because I don't think that any functional government would not know that a rebel group was mobilizing their supporters to come to Nairobi and even convene a press conference. No way. I doubt. If that were to happen, then it means Kenya does not have intelligence, which I highly doubt. Because immediately this guy landed in Kenya, I'm sure the government eye started focusing on him unless they were aiding him. And that could explain why the DRC are mad with Kenya. The president, Felix Tshisekedi, is mad with Kenya. Number two, can they hold a press conference without government facilitation? Do you think it can happen? That these guys can notify the media houses that we are going to hold a press conference at Serena at this hour? Is it possible? They must have been cleared. So those are the questions. The other question is it a strategy to undermine Uhuru? Because remember, Uhuru Kenyatta is the facilitator of the Nairobi-led peace process on DRC. And according to Robert Alai, Ruto started undermining Uhuru Kenyatta's role. Immediately he became the president, and immediately he met with Paul Kagame over the DRC Congo issue. Very interesting. And lastly, is it true that Ruto is supporting this group? And why would he support the group? What is Kenya's interest in DRC? Remember, DRC is one of the wealthiest countries in Africa because of gold. And of course, my last question is, how would the US government react to Kenya's involvement in this matter? Because I'm sure, as much as Kenyans might say they didn't know, the US government, I'm 100% sure they have the intelligence. So how will they treat, or how will they react to Kenya? Now let me go through Uhuru Kenyatta's statement, which he released today, which for me is also very interesting. This is what Uhuru Kenyatta posted. This is what Uhuru Kenyatta posted through his official Twitter handle, the 4th President KE, Office of the 4th President of Kenya. This is what he's saying. Former President Uhuru Kenyatta, the facilitator of the East Africa Community-led Nairobi peace process, watched with shock and dismay at the development of last Friday's 15th December 2023 in Nairobi, where individuals claiming to be pursuing the interest of the great peace and stability in DRC initiated yet another political and military alliance to challenge the legitimate political status quo in the DRC. The facilitator repudiates this development, and in particular their military character and the accompanying political charge and provocative rhetorics. President Retired Kenyatta restates his support for the US. You know, Uhuru is also dragging the name of the US because that peace process is actually being brokered by the US. You see, the President Kenyatta restates his support for the US brokered ceasefire and continues to seek its indefinite extension in order to facilitate the peace-building process, put an end to the senseless killing and the suffering of the people of the Eastern DRC, and set the stage for resumption of the Nairobi peace process and the brokering of a lasting peace in the troubled region of the Eastern DRC. So from Uhuru Kenyatta's statement, it is clear that he's opposed to the formation of this group, and he's also seeking for the support of the US. In Kenyan government statement, they made no reference to this peace process. They made no reference to the US facilitation. And of course, let us wait and see how this thing is going to unfold. And I'll be interested in following the opinion of the people of the DRC. I'm told they are going for an election and Tshisekedi is not faring well. But are the opposition united? That's what I'll be interested in knowing. Until next time, this is Makwiny.